Hello, hello. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. We are working on Love You gift tags today. Our little Valentines. Valentines you can use as a gift tag or an ornament. Just really fun. So as you come on in, say hello. All right, I'm just getting set up here. All right. Hello, Linda, again. Glad you found me. Looks like we have a few on. All right. Well, I am Erika Joanne from Erika Joanne Art, and today we are doing Valentine gift tags. The name is Love You Gift Tags. You can get the e-pattern off our website. It's a simple e-pattern. It doesn't include instructions. It includes the line drawing and a mock-up guide. This is in color in the e-pattern, but I printed it out black and white. So it has a color mock-up, and then also you have your palette list and your supply list in the e-pattern, and then also a technique sheet, which goes over our techniques that we use with paint and color pencil, because this is kind of a mixed media type art that we do. And yeah, I just thought this would be so fun to do this Valentine week. And what you want to do is print it out. And there's a little box at the bottom that says drawing is 100% when this box measures 1 by 1. So if you're wondering if your printer is printing it out at the right size, you can always measure this little box down at the bottom and it will tell you. But normally what you want to do is print it out with no scaling or no adjustment to the size. So you want to print it out 100%. And so it comes out the right size. You can get the e-pattern on our website for $4, and it includes the 2 different designs. So you want to cut out the line drawings like so. And get those cut out. Oops. And we'll be doing both designs today. I've purposely made them simple enough so that we can do them quickly. Okay, put this aside. And I have watercolor paper here. This is 130. Well, I always forget what it is. It's 140 cold press watercolor paper. It's extra thick because of that weight. It tends to be thicker. And I like this. I really like the cold pressed watercolor paper. So 140 weight cold pressed watercolor paper. And you need 2 4x4 pieces for each design. And the reason why we have 2 for each is we're going to glue these together to make it extra stiff so that you can use it as an ornament. Or even if you use it as a gift tag, the person that receives it can later use it as an ornament. So we're going to start by gluing these together. And you can just glue these together with white glue. I happen to use PVA glue. It's a glue that bookbinders use, or you can use for paper projects. It works really good that way. So I'm going to just look at my paper. There are 2 different sides to your paper. There's kind of a more texturized side. don't know if you can tell from where you're looking at, but this is kind of more of a texturized. That's not the side I want. I want the soft texture. There's kind of a softer texture. That's what I want. So those two pieces need to be on the the softer texture needs to be on the outside. Go ahead and put like a little puddle of glue in the middle. And I usually use a squeegee to move the paper or move the glue around. I'm gonna get my squeegee here. So I use this little squeegee and that kind of moves my glue around. And you want to get it to the, as close to the edges as you can, because this 4x4 is just very close to the size of these hearts. I opted to do a larger heart. I almost went with something smaller, but decided I kind of want to make it larger. So I'm going to put a little more glue here and there. So you want to start out by finding out what is the right size to your watercolor or right side to your watercolor paper, and then make sure that is on the outside. It does not have glue on it. The wrong side, you want to glue the wrong sides together. So it'd be like that. Okay. Hello, Valerie and Brenda. Hello again. Hey, hey, hey. Happy Tuesday to everyone. I'm really trying to do these Facebook. Oh, we're not doing Facebook. We're doing YouTube. YouTube lives. I'm really trying to do these more often and be a little more regular with it, so you guys can count on me being here on Tuesday evenings or afternoon, depending on where you're at in the country. But I will always be going on at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, so it's tending to want to curl up on the edges, and that's okay. You just kind of keep reminding it needs to go back down. In fact, you can put it under something heavy to kind of keep it down, like a book. A nice book. I'm just going to put mine over here and put a book on it. Let it glue. Okay, now I'll do the next one. We have one more that we need to do. Remember, put the wrong sides together. The right sides, if you're using cold pressed watercolor paper, the right side would be a soft model. Soft model. What I'm saying is MOTTLE, mottle. Okay. I put some extra glue on this one. I need to get some of that off. And I'm trying to get it to go from edge to edge. So there's plenty of glue on there on the edges. But you don't want it so much glue that it's just going to ooze out like crazy. So I'm taking some of it off. I went a little too generous. Oh, okay. That's better. All right, put those wrong sides together. And again, the reason why I'm doing this is to stiffen up my paper so I have more, just a harder piece. You don't have to do this if you don't feel like it. It's fine. You don't have to. I just wanted mine to be a little stiffer. And it won't take too long to get it to stay. You've got to give it a few minutes. Let's see what's going on with this other one. Oh, it's just about there. Yeah. So I'm going to put those both under the book. Let let them be glued together nice and hard. Put something heavy on them. Okay, so these are the designs we got going on. I definitely wanted to do hearts, and I thought it would be fun to have a little scalloped edge, although that's a little trickier to cut out of the heavy watercolor paper. We definitely need small, sharp scissors for doing that. And I have a few choices, but I'm not really sure which ones will be best. Oh, we'll see. We'll try some of the choices I have here. So I have like this pair. I have this pair that's a sharper one. So something like one of these is what you'll need. We will work on doing that last, though. I'm not going to worry about it now. We're just trying to get our pieces of paper glued together. Okay, let's see where we're at. This one is looking pretty darn good. So see how the two come together? It almost feels like one piece now. It's a nice thick piece of paper. Okay, so while that other one is being trained to stay together, I'm going to bring one over here and we'll start transferring the design. So this piece, like I said before, is a 4x4 piece of watercolor paper, and I just put two together, glued them together. You can use white glue. I use PVA glue. If you happen to have PVA glue, that works great. And then you want some painter's tape, like just blue tape is good. And you want to tape everything down so you don't, your design doesn't move. So position it over your paper where you feel like it would work best, and then tape all of it down. Okay. And then you need a piece of graphite paper. This is gray graphite paper. And you want to place this in between your design drawing and then the surface. And that will transfer the design onto the surface. So I'm going to put that in there the best I can. In order to transfer, it's nice to either use like a sharp pencil, a ballpoint pen, or a pointed stylus. And I do have a pointed stylus I could use. Let's see how this would work. It's got a little, yeah. See how small that point is? I'm going to bring you guys in closer. We'll just bring it like this. Okay. Hey, Lisa. Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm trying to get my camera to zoom in and it's not cooperating. So let's see here. Wonder if I bring it up right there. Okay. Well, that's probably the closest I can get it to you guys because my camera is not wanting to zoom in for me today. So weird. I'd have to start all over again, and I'm just not. I don't want to start all over again. So, okay. So you have your graphite paper in between your line drawing. Go ahead and transfer that. Use something that's pointed, either a pencil, a sharp pencil, a ballpoint pen, or a pointed stylus. And when you have it taped down, it's nice because you can go back and look at it without shifting your paper. Okay. I'm gonna do some here under the tape. Okay. Okay, so I can see I got my circle on there. It's kind of faint, but I can see it. And then you go ahead and do the rest of your design. I'm going to put the stitches on first. We have this graphite paper in our store. It's wax free and it works really well over watercolor paper because sometimes if you are using the waxy graphite paper and you go over your watercolor paper or you get any smudges, that sometimes they can be hard to erase if they have wax, if the graphite has wax in it. So we have wax free graphite paper available on our website. I've noticed with the wax free, it's a little more faint. The lines are more faint. So you have to press a little harder when you're using it. Okay, now I'm working on transferring the heart. Okay, that's the first part of the heart. We'll do the inner part. There are a few little details going on here. So you just need to be patient with the process, getting all that on. We're putting all of the details down. Maybe we'll check it out and see how we're doing. Oh, yeah, that's looking pretty good. I can see it. I got my heart in there. Now I can put my scallops in. So, how's everyone's week going? Are you guys staying warm? Those of you that are in the cold areas? I was just talking to my whimsy group earlier, and we have a wonderful sunny day here in Western Washington. It is amazing. There is not a cloud in sight. I don't see one cloud out there. There are beautiful blue skies, and set up against the green trees, it's just gorgeous today. Normally, we have a nice thick blanket of clouds around around us, so this is a nice break from that. Okay, I'm gonna put the main stem in. And the leaves. Okay. A few more leaves here. I always like to do this part with you guys because I have to do it anyway. And it's just nice to have company while we work together and get the pattern on or get our prepping done together. So it's kind of like our homework, we're getting it done together. Okay, I got to see where I'm at. I need a few more leaves there and another stem. Okay. think I've got one more leaf here. And then we're ready to do the flowers. Little hearts. Do you guys have your houses decorated for Valentine's Day? I actually decorated mine for Valentine's Day this year. It's it's not a lot, but I have some out. Okay, and then we want that large round circle around the flower. Okay. Okay, so I got that side done. Now let's go do this one. I think I'll do the circle first. Do the middle and then the petals. I've been collecting little heart dishes. Sometimes you can find them at the thrift shop. Just little heart dishes. Like, I have a few that are glass and just kind of like decorative glass. They're really small, and some that are large. And my collection is starting to grow. It's been fun. Okay, I think we're good. I think I'm gonna put in that area where you put in your hole punch right here, so I kinda know where that's gonna be. A hole punch there. Okay, so that's good for that. I'm gonna take my pencil and just fill in the areas I kind of came out really light. And a few more stitches. So this is the time you can go in and erase anything that maybe doesn't look right. Um, make it look nice. Okay, that one is done. Let's pull out our other one that is ready to go. We'll get our other design out. Which I'm not sure where it went. Where did it go? Oh my goodness. Just looking at this tape, might be able to. So if you have something that is the same size circle, like this tape is uncannily, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but it's about the same size. That is crazy. I think I'm going to trace around it just so I got a nice good circle going around, because my trace circle, well, it's okay, but this is a nice good circle going around it. It's a little bigger, but hey, it gives me a good line. Oh, okay, I'll leave that there. Okay, I'm going to put this aside, find that other drawing. Where did the tracing go? Well, am I the only one that loses things in my studio? Darn it. Where did it go? It's got to be around here somewhere. Okay. Seriously? Oh my word. You guys saw me cut it out, right? You saw it. It was right there. Okay, where did you go? Well, what we'll do is I will go ahead and use this one as my tracing guide. So it'll work that way too. Yeah, I don't know. That just flew away. Flew away. Okay, let's take this one down also. I'm sorry it's not in closer, you guys. I tried to zoom it in. My zoomer is not working today. Hey, Cindy from sunny Chicago. Glad you could be here. All right, just go ahead and tape those two down. Position it on there as you see fit, and then get that down. Okay, we'll go ahead and trace this one. This one's a little more complicated. There's a little more detail on this one. We'll start with the outside line. Get that on there. It's a little scallop. I got that in there just just on the edge. Okay. Coming around. So, do you guys have any like fun things you do on Valentine's Day? I remember as a kid, you were sent home with a milk jug, like a milk box, and then you had to decorate it. And it seems like I think we decorated them at school. Or I know what it was. My mom had to send a milk jug in, and it was like the carton, a milk carton, a paper carton. Or one time it was like a shoebox, and we had to come into school with one of those, and then we would decorate it at school. That was always fun. And then on Valentine's Day, you'd give everyone a Valentine, and you would get Valentines from everyone, and they were all so different. And back when I was young enough to do that, um, we didn't get candy. I mean, it just wasn't a thing that we did. We didn't give each other candy. I think they do that more nowadays with the kids. Okay, I'm just gonna go through and work on each flower around the design. Make sure I got that. Yeah, I did get that in. And all the stems, leaves. Just get everything in. There's a lot of detail on this one. This e-pattern, which includes a line drawing and your palette list, your supply list, and a color mock-up and the technique sheet is available on our website for $4. It does not include the instructions. The instructions are here in this video. So if you wanted to get this later, you can always come back and rewatch this video. It will be up on our YouTube channel. We have a little library growing here on the YouTube channel. So if you are interested in what I do here, please like and subscribe so you can see more. Okay, it's working around everything. Getting all the detail in. You don't need to put the little dots on though. You can just kind of leave those. Those will be little dip dots that we add later with a stylus. You don't really need the drawing for those. And around we go. Okay, I'm going to look and see what I've done so far. I need this leaf right here. Okay. We did our last class in our Secret Garden Whimsy today. It was our last hurrah. It was kind of sad. And our Whimsy by the Sea art subscription is starting up here. So that will be going on here soon. That's more of a membership group. We have a few membership groups. We also have teachers that teach individual projects if you're interested. They are listed on our website along with their current class schedule. So just go to our website, erikajoanne.com. That's ERIKAJOANNE.com. And look under the teacher tab, and it will bring up all our teachers and what they're currently teaching. A lot of them teach on Zoom, but some of them also teach in person. And we do the paint and color pencil method, which is really fun. Super fun. If you've never experienced it before, you got to give it a try. It's easier than you would think. Okay, I'm almost there. Got my line drawing on. Let's see, a little bit more. This little pinwheel flower and another heart flower. I remember in elementary school getting the Valentines from classmates and how fun that was. And every Valentine was so different. But we generally did those ones that you get in the cardboard box and they're like perforated and you pull them apart. Do you guys remember those? That pretty much everyone got some like that. And then there were just all different kinds and varieties of those. I'm just checking, make sure I got everything. Looks like I did. Okay. All right, we'll pull that off. Now we have our 2 Valentines ready to go. Okay. So fun. Yeah, I came really close to the bottom. Just barely made it. Right. Okay. How are you guys doing? Looks like we got a few of you on. I am not seeing all the comments, so maybe I will go back and kind of refresh things. It's like my internet just wanted to stop. Okay, so I'm just going to keep moving forward. We're going to paint next. We're going to do some watercolor washes. Oh boy, I'm not getting this up here. Okay, well, boy, we're having fun today. Having a lot of fun. The colors we're using is rose pink, and I'll show you what that color is. Looks like this, kind of a reddish pink. And then we're also going to be using titanium white. Looks like this. I use Josanya colors. These are Josanya's. Man, my computer is not working for me right now. So, okay, so rose pink and titanium white. We need those two colors. You need a round brush, something like this. This is a Josanya 410 4010 Select Round, number 3. It could be like a 3 or 4. We will be getting into small areas, so it's nice to have kind of a smaller brush to get into those smaller areas. I'm going to erase a little bit of my graphite that was placed wrong, and sometimes you need to fix things. So make sure and get your design fixed if it needs it. This line needs to be fixed here. Okay. Okay. Let's start out, well, we'll just start like this. We'll start out with how about we go with our pinks first? And we need to mix our titanium white and rose pink together to create kind of a lighter pink. So we'll do that first. And I'll show you my palette really quick here. Okay, so I have these two colors, rose pink and titanium white. And I'm going to mix the two together. So I'm going to start out with a 1-to-1 mix like that. And see what I got here. I want a lighter pink. Let's go 2-to-1. So 2 parts white and 1 part rose pink. And we'll get this nice pink color in. Yeah, and then we really want to be generous with our water. You're going to water down that color to where it's inky looking or milky looking, like the consistency of milk. Okay, and that will be our watercolor that we're going to use to color our design, all our pink areas. Okay. Yeah, don't be afraid to add water to that. Don't be afraid at all. Make sure you have a paper towel nearby too. Okay, so I have a little piece of paper towel right here. And I'm going to do all the way around the heart. That's my light pink area. And you're just coloring it in like you would watercolor. If you don't have the same type of brand of paint that I have, I just encourage you to use what you have. Create a color that looks similar to this. You want a lighter pink. This is kind of a reddish pink, I guess you could say. Rosy pink. And you're going to color all the way around the heart. fill that in. Now, some of it is going to be a little varied in the value of color it is. So, like, you might see some mottling, or it's not completely even as far as the color on the background, and that is completely okay. Just go with it. I don't want you to be afraid of that. Just go with it. But do try to stay in the lines. Okay, just making my way around. Super fun. There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm looking for my color guide. Oh my gosh, this is just nuts. Guess which one showed up? That one showed up. This showed up. Now, where's my color guide? This one showed up. All right. Okay. Hold on just a second. All right. My computer just started working again. Okay, so I got the pink around the outside, and I'm going to work on the pink areas inside this heart. And some of it we can like go over and then go back in with red. So what I'm saying is, like, this area right here, the pink is in between the hearts, and that's a pain to have to work around all those hearts. So I'm going to just cover the whole area, and then I'll come back in with the red later. So I'm going to fill in this whole flower with the light pink to start with. Okay. And I can go back in later and add those hearts with the red. Okay, I'm going to find some other spots that are pink. We have a leaf right here that is pink. Some of the areas are kept white also, so I'm going to leave those areas just open, the same color as the background. This is a little heart that is pink. This is pink. This leaf right here. And you can see I keep loading my brush in between strokes. I want to keep going back and adding more paint to my brush. And then come down in between those leaves and you're going to add your stem. And you can kind of pull the stem up a little farther, about like so. This leaf is white. That leaf is white. This one is pink up here. So we'll do this one. This leaf is white. And then the area back in here is pink. So this one, we are going to have to work around all the little petals. Sorry about that, guys, but sometimes you do have to do the detail work. So just carefully work around each petal because the petals are white. Okay. And then you can move your piece around as you work. I love this part. This is just a joyful part of painting, is getting in the backgrounds with washes. I love doing the background with washes. Again, use what you have. If you have paint already, use what you have. Find some colors that will work for you. If you have watercolor paper already, use what you have. You can always invest in something later if you need to. If you want to get something done for this Valentine's Day, you just want to have fun with this, just use what you have. I encourage you to do that. Okay, we have a few little pink scallops going around the edge, so we're going to fill those in. I'll start out from the center here and go to the left. So this first scallop is skipped, and then we're going to the second one. We're going to fill that in with pink. We're going to skip another one and fill in the one after that with pink. Skip another one, like so. And skip another one. And that's pretty much how it's going the whole way. Just skip it, fill in one with pink, skip, and then fill another with pink. Okay, that's the left side. Let's go do the right side. So we got one down here. That's pink. Skip one. Go to the next one. That's pink. So it's the same story all the way around. So just skip one and go to the next one. Until you end up at the middle again. Nice. Okay, that's all the pink areas for this Valentine. So I'm going to set this one aside and bring the other one over, and we'll work on that one. Okay. So this next one. Okay, we have, let's see, let's do the scallops around the edge. Let's do those first. So just work around the edge. Stay in the lines. This is the same pink color. You can work from the same puddle that you've been using, and you're working around the Valentine like so, filling in this line of scallops around the edge. Okay, just make your way around. I truly love this color. I think it's so nice. There are so many different pinks, and I love this one. It's like a reddish pink or a rosy pink. Really love it. Okay, I'm going to go back down to the bottom and make my way back up. Just work on staying in the lines. Watch the tip of your brush. That does help. I know some people say don't do that, don't look at the tip, but I don't know. I have to say otherwise. Works really good for me. Helps me focus. And also tells me how much pressure I'm putting on my brush. I want my tip to have very light pressure, especially for working in these tight areas. Just a little bit of pressure. Okay, working around. Right. That looks nice. It's a good start. Okay, let's go ahead and do all the like little swirly flowers. This one right here is definitely pink. Not all of them are pink. So some of them are. Look at your color guide. It will show you where you need to put those pink areas. If you're wondering, maybe you're way ahead of me. You got this. And you can just look at that color guide and it will show you where you need to put your colors. Okay, we have another one over here on the other side that's pink. If your puddle starts getting dry, go ahead and add some more water to it. Remember, we wanted kind of a light pink to go over everything. I'm going to do the hearts now inside of this flower. Okay. Okay. Now we have some of our leaves that are done, some aren't. It's just a lot of stuff going on. So we'll just start in the middle. This leaf is pink here. And this leaf is pink. This one is too. This one. It's like almost every other leaf is pink. Try to break it up a little bit. Okay, this one is, and this one right by the middle flower. Also have one over here on the left. Mhm. And looks like that's it for the pink leaves. Let's go ahead and add the border around this heart flower. It's a little pink border that goes around it. And then you have, let's see, there's just a few pink areas over here. So in between some of these petals, there's a few pink areas. So that one, it's like 4 areas. One right here. Oops, it kind of went into my petal. And then right here and right here. Okay. All right, that's it for the pink there on this Valentine. All right. All right, let's go in with our red. We just have red to do, and then we can start in with our color pencils. So when I say red, it really is just this rose pink color that we're going to go in and use for our red color. So take that and add water to it, water it down really good, get a good puddle. You guys, one thing you can do is you can always test your color on another piece of watercolor paper. So I have some little scraps here of my watercolor paper. And I will just use that as my test piece. So you can always do this if you're a little afraid to go directly to your piece. You can see I keep adding water to it. I want it to be the consistency of milk. Needs to be somewhat transparent. You can see through it even on your palette. Go like that on your watercolor paper and you can see kind of like what that's going to look like. We want just a transparent red. Okay, I'm going to move this one aside, come back to this one because it's already dry. I really don't want to do anything until it's nice and dry. I don't want to add another color until it's dry. Okay, so we'll go back to that one. Let's start with our hearts. We have these hearts here. Let's add these in that red color. Isn't that pretty? So go around and do all the hearts inside this flower. This is actually rose pink that's been watered down. These colors are Josanya Artist Colors. They are a company based in California, Northern California. Delightful people. Okay, so that's my red. Okay, it's still a wash. It's similar to using your pink color to do the washes, but you are using red. Okay, we have a little red inside this. Just this little middle area is red there. And then the whole background of this heart is red. So we're going to have to work around things, try to stay in the lines as best you can. So let's just we'll start in here. You can go over the vines or the little branches and stuff. Work around this bulb. It's kind of a flower bulb. And then work around the leaves and the flowers. You're just going to work around everything. Going to fill this inner area of the heart in. Definitely work around the leaves. Don't go in the leaves. Work around them. Some of those leaves are white. Okay. Now you might lose some lines because this pink is pretty close to the same color as our flower. And I did go over that area, and that was supposed to be white. So I'll have to go back in and color that later. Okay. But just keep working around everything. You're working on the inside of the heart around all the elements. Take it a little bit at a time so you can keep track of where you're at. Okay. I apologize for not being able to zoom in, you guys. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to turn my piece because it'll be a little easier for me to fill in those colors if I turn it. And just keep doing this, working around everything. Remember, some leaves are white, so they're left white and need to be worked around. Okay. You can turn your piece as needed. Just make it so that it's easy for you to pull those strokes toward yourself. Okay. All right, the next area we need to do is the background around the scallop. So this is another kind of little tedious, working around those scallops. Use very little pressure on your brush. You're working on just the tip. Okay. Did you ever get homemade valentines when you were in school? I think there were a few years that we made homemade valentines, but most of the time they were store-bought in the little boxes. I remember there was, like, all different kinds you could choose. There was, like, um, Superman. What was it? Holly. Oh, what was her name? Anyway, I loved giving valentines out. But when our kids got into school, that was a whole 'nother question. It was like a race to the finish for them, because at one point, I had 4 kids in school, and it was a little nuts trying to get all their valentines ready. Remember deep diving into valentines the night before. Okay. All right. Well, that is good. Now you can see some of the design, it feels a little lost. It's a little muted because the two colors are similar, but we have some remedies for that. So just be patient. We're going to fix that later. So that will be put aside and we'll continue with our red on this Valentine. Well, let's start out. There are little petals right here. Start out with those. Working around. Okay. And then the middle of this heart. Okay. Those are like the main two smaller red areas. Everything else that's red is the background. So any of the leaves, the flowers that are left with no color, they're supposed to be white. And then we just need to work on the background. So just start in some place and start working around, but make sure and go around all the leaves and flowers. Okay. And when we hit into high school, I remember they had like Valentine Valentine grams or kind of like love grams you could send to someone in the school. So you might get like an anonymous note, a little love note from someone. Did you guys have that in your schools? That was always exciting. To get an anonymous love note. I didn't get very many of those, but It was exciting to see my friends get them and like, who was it? Who do you think it was? The mystery. Okay, I'm just working around the pattern here or the design. Oops, I just about went over that leaf. It's supposed to be white. So keep working. If you love doing washes as therapy, this is the pattern for you. I know some of you do. You absolutely love washing your color in, and I do too. I really enjoy it. It's very relaxing. When you get the hang of it and you know what you're doing, it's actually really fun. Okay. And it will have some unevenness, and that's totally okay. Just go with it. Don't fight it. Just have fun with it. It will actually look really good in the end when we get this all done. Okay. Well, we're almost there, halfway there. Okay, where do I want to go? How about right here? I'm just going to work around that punch hole or that hole that's supposed to be punched. Okay. Getting there. We're about 3/4 of the way done now. A bit more. Okay, we're getting there. Let's see if I see any of your comments. I've been having a hard time with my computer. It's being persnickety. Let's see. Okay. There we are. Yay! Comments. Hi, Robin from Georgia, and Kathy McAllister. Hello. Looky Lou. Hi, Sandy from Florida, and Lisa and Alice. Awesome. Brenda, Cindy, thank you guys for being here. It's awesome. Thank you. I hope you guys can see this okay, since I can't zoom in like I wanted to. For some reason, my zoomer is not working. Maybe when I get this done, maybe I will bring my camera down so you can see it better. Okay. We are almost there. So this is paint and color pencil. They call it innovative paint and pencil. It's a mixed media technique that I've been using for a long time. And I love it, totally love it, to the point that I've just stayed with it the 30 years that I've been in business and painting and teaching. So the whole idea is to combine paint and color pencils, get the best of both worlds. Paint is a great way to fill in a background. It goes faster. And we use Josania's because the paint dries to a matte finish, which is great for color pencils. All right, did I get it done? Hold on, let me look at my picture. Let's see here. Where are you? Okay, I just need to put a little round dot in the middle here. Okay. All right, now the values are kind of close together, so it's probably like, wow, that doesn't look that great. But it will. Trust me, it's going to look awesome when we get it done. Okay. We are using a poppy red pencil. So we want to make sure that everything's nice and dry before we pull in the pencils and start doing our coloring. But it's looking good. I'm really happy with it. So I'm going to switch over to this one again because it's nice and dry, and we'll do some color pencil work and get the design kind of popping a little bit for ourselves. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to go in and do some shading and line work. I'm trying to think if I should bring in the pen first. I think I might do that first. Okay, let's do that first. We're going to bring in our Pigma pen. And let's just line around everything. That will establish our boundaries because it'll just be easier to see everything. And I have a 005 Pigma pen. I'm going to bring this down a little closer. Hopefully you guys can see it okay. There. Okay. So let's go ahead and put in all our details, and then we can go back in and do some shading. Okay, I'm just going to start in the center of our design. and you're just going to lightly line around everything. I want to skip my line along a little bit with the pen. You don't have to have a solid line. You can kind of skip it along. And this is a nice, really fine pen. This is the Micron or the Pigma Micron. And it does have a fine tip, but if you press really hard, you could make it really thick. So just try to skip your line along and keep the weight off the tip. Just keep it nice and light. Okay, now you can add your lines. Same thing, skip your line along. These are the little lines on the petals. And see how I'm just turning my piece as I go. Okay. So that's going to give it a little more definition. I'm going to bring this up to the camera and see if it helps. It looks kind of blurry on my end. So I don't know. I'm going to look at when my video catches up here. Yep, it's blurry. So I don't know why it's not doing it for me. I adjusted the camera. We'll see if that helps at all. Yeah, it's clear far away. So I'm sorry. It's kind of set where it's at. So we just have to go with it. Okay, now I'm going to go through the design and just line everything and bring some definition to it and just follow along. Make sure I'm going to be skipping my line along throughout the whole design. So I'm not doing the solid line. I'm always skipping. If you like to draw, this is just a really fun way to do it. And if you go outside the line on like an element, it's okay. It's totally okay. But give yourself a little grace. It will look really cool in the end. So it's okay. Okay, I do have a line like this and one like that. I got to refer to my, and I have one more like this. Okay, a few more leaves to go. Here's a stem here. And then we have a stem coming up this way, like so. Okay, let's do our hearts. I'm Erika Joanne from Erika Joanne Art, and I love to teach mixed media and have lots of designs. I've been doing this for a while. I just love what I do, and I love sharing. So, started a YouTube channel. I've been working on Facebook for quite a while, and my brother-in-law was like, "You need to get on YouTube." And my son-in-law was saying that. I had a lot of people in my family saying that. "Get on YouTube." So, through their encouragement, I finally made the plunge over to YouTube. So, here I am. And I'm going to try to do something every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're interested in what we do here, please like and subscribe. Okay, it's coming along. It's starting to take some shape. All right, let's do the outside edge and then we'll do the scallops. Who wouldn't love getting a Valentine like this? I would be totally so happy if someone made something like this for me. You'd feel so loved. What we're doing right now is what they call developing the painting. We are developing our painting. I'm working on the scallops. Just go around each one. I'm going to be typically on for a couple hours each time too, depending on the project. And today we'll be giving a prize away from the comments. So if you want a chance at a prize, make some comments for us. And our question today, let's see, how about we just have a question? It's easier to comment that way. So our question today is, do you remember getting Valentine's as a youngster? And what was your favorite Valentine? Do you remember your favorite Valentine? Do you remember getting Valentines, and did you have a favorite one that you received? Okay, I just got all that done. I do have stitching to do on this. Let's get the stitching in. And those are just solid lines that skirt the outside edge. of your piece. Just follow around the outside. Okay, I got those in. All right, we are going to set this aside and work on this one. And then we'll go in and do our colored pencil because we are doing these together. So I'm going to start in the middle. We've got this little dot in the middle, and then our hearts. Skip your line along. I'm using the Sakura Pigma pen. This is 005. Okay. And then we want to work around the outside of that. So try to follow that circle around. Skipping your line along. Okay. Now let's put in our stems so we kind of have an idea where we're at. These stems go all the way down to the bottom. And you have one here. Let's see here. I gotta look at my drawing. I can't remember. Okay, we have one right here. One here. One here. And over here. There's this one. Okay, now we can go ahead and line around our leaves. Ever so often, skip that line along. Let's just do all the leaves first. Sometimes it's easier when you concentrate on one thing. One at a time. It's not one big project, it's a ton of little projects that we're doing. Just little steps. Not a huge step, just little steps. Okay, almost missed that one there. Okay. Continuing on here. More leaves. This one has a lot of leaves. Mhm. Okay, one more up there. And I missed a stem up there too. Okay, I think I got all the stems that I can tell. Okay. All right, let's work on our flowers. I'll start up here at this on this one. This is our little swirl flower at the top. Just swirl it around all the way around. Here's another one over here. Let's get all those swirl flowers in. Some of them have more swirls than others. Okay. Here's one here. You just follow the line the best you can, but if you go outside the line, remember it's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. These are homemade, handmade. They're better if they aren't perfect, actually. Then they're one of a kind. Okay, how about this small flower here? Let's get all the little petals. You can get the e-pattern for this design on our website. It's $4. Right now, it's $4. And it comes with the 2 line drawings for these different designs, a color guide, a technique sheet, and a palette list. It does not come with the instructions because your instructions are here on this video. Okay, let's get our little hearts done. Let's move around that. Skipping your line along. There's some flourishes in the heart. Don't forget those. They're so cute. All right, we've got all the stuff done on the inside here that I can see. We need to do the outside lines, so we'll work on those next. Okay, where to start? I'll do the inner line first. This is my own design. I am a designer. I draw just about every day. And I really enjoyed creating these little hearts. I thought they were so fun. So I've gotten to the point where now I do a lot of my artwork on my iPad using a stylus to do my sketching. And boy, that's come a long way for me because I used to do everything with pencil and tracing paper and transfer paper, which was kind of tedious and messy. It is nice. I didn't know if I could ever switch over to an iPad and an Apple Pencil. I thought, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I'm so used to what I do. But I knew it was important that I try. So I've been trying for the last few years. And I'm finally gotten to the point where I'm comfortable drawing a design on my iPad. It didn't start that way though. Okay. Woohoo. All right. They look fantastic. I love it. Oh my goodness. Love it. Love it. Okay. We're going to go in now with our Poppy Red Prismacolor Premier pencil. Say that 3 times fast. It's PC 922. This is a Prismacolor, and there's different types there's a Scholastic Prismacolor. This is the Premier. So just think, this is the highest quality. This is what artists like to use because it has a very soft lead and it puts out a ton of pigment. So we're gonna put some other things away here so I get that out of the way. Let's start out with this heart here. And do some shading. Now I want to accentuate my red background because I feel like it's like encroaching in on the pink a little too much. So I want to make my red background a little darker. I'm going to start out at the bottom and use a heavy stroke with my pencil. See how that's starting to bring in some color? I'm going to also work around the elements as I go up. So I'm going to put in my dark value, which is a heavier stroke. You want it to be, you want your strokes to overlap each other so you don't see spaces in between your shading. So that's my dark value, okay? Let's go up this way too. Dark value, little heavier stroke. Up this way, work around the elements. And you're going to go up about 2.5 to 3 inches. Okay, so that's my dark value. See how that's really starting to bring in some contrast and help that red really be different than the pink. Okay, so now I'm going to take that value and go a little bit lighter as I move up into the design. And like I said, you kind of need to work around your elements and the black pin mark. So you're going to use a little less pressure to fill in that area. So I call it my medium value, less pressure. And it's not going to be as dark as what you did at the bottom of your design. And as you move up, you're going to go less and less with your pressure. And then that will fade right into your red background as you get up. Not about halfway. As you get about halfway, it should just kind of fade right into the background of the red. We're just working on the red. Okay, let it fade because you're using less and less pressure as you move up into the design. You want the different values to kind of blend into each other also. So Okay. Just letting this fade as I go up. Okay. All right. So I'm happy with that because it makes it so I can see my pinks better. I like that. Okay, this area of the design, I'm gonna just leave. I'm not gonna have shading there, but I'm gonna bring my shading up the edges here a little bit. I'm not gonna go out as far, maybe a half an inch with my shading. So my dark, medium, and light background or dark, medium, and light shading is gonna go pretty quickly because it's just a small little area. Let's do that on the other side here also. Bring up your shading up the edge of the heart and then kind of let it fade pretty quickly into the design. Okay. So now we are leaving this area free from colored pencil, but how about right in here at the top of our heart? That will be our dark value, working around our elements. And then as you come down, probably about an inch into the design, let it fade. Okay. And you're working on both sides of that middle top area. Let it fade. Work around the elements. Okay. So can you tell you got some shading up here? You got some shading kind of around the edge there. I'm going to bring the edges up a little bit more with my shading, kind of um, touch into the top shading a little bit. So just a little bit. Bring that line around and blend those edges together. Okay. I think that's good for shading my background. I do have this red spot in the middle. I want to darken that. Mhm. And we have this red area. Let's highlight this better. And I think I'm going to put the shading at the tip here of this heart and let it fade as I come down into the heart. So just at the tip on the inside of that heart. And then we have some red areas on our petals around this flower. I'm trying to think. I think I'm just going to do the tips of those. Just a little bit at the tips. Just kind of use this stroking motion with your pencil. Just the tips. Now my pencil is starting to get dull, so I want to sharpen it so I have a nice sharp point. Okay. I'm really liking it. Now we can go in and shade some of our pink areas, but we don't want to overdo it because we don't want them to blend so much into our pink, our red that we kind of lose something. But I think it would be nice to have some shading right here at the bottom of each heart in the center of this flower. A little bit of shading there. Doesn't that add? So your dark shading is right at the tip of the heart and then let it fade as it comes up. I use like a little circular motion. Make sure the small little circles overlapping each other as you come up and let it fade. A little more pressure at the bottom of those hearts, and then let the pressure fade right into the background. So that kind of adds a little something, I think. Mm. I really am hesitant to do too much shading because like I said, don't want to lose some things. But I do see something maybe would be nice. We have these little swirls. How about we shade in the middle, like so, kind of just a little circular motion and kind of let it fade as you keep going in a circle. So your darkest value is going to be right in the middle of that flower. You see that? Let's do that on each of these circle flowers, like that. Little bit of red in the middle. Let it fade as you spin your pencil around. Okay, I think I'm good. I'm really happy with it. We will put some painted little highlights on this. We're going to do some little dots with white, and that will finish it off. Maybe some little jewels too. So let's put this aside. We'll move over to this one. I'm going to pull this up here. How's everyone doing? Oh my goodness. I can't see all the comments. It's annoying me. Alice said the secret admirer cards were always nice. Knowing someone liked you. And she said, I enjoy making cards now using my Cricut machine and mailing them to my grandkids for Valentine's Day. What a great idea. Oh, sorry. Linda, she says you didn't remember a favorite. I don't really remember too many favorites either, other than I just loved getting the Valentines. It was so fun. Oh, yeah. Sandy says Holly Hobby. Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. It was Holly Hobby. I was like, Holly something or other. Okay, let's go ahead and do some shading on this one now. And let's see. I'm going to start in at the bottom, just kind of like we did here. Let's right here in the side inside this heart. Okay. So our darkest value is going to be right here at the bottom. Bring it up the sides, about halfway. Okay. Both sides, halfway. Going to bring some contrast into this. That's our darkest value. And then you'll want to move up into your design, but loosen up on your pressure as you do that. Just kind of bring it up and lighten up your pressure. Work around the different elements. About halfway, let it fade. Okay. Now let's do the same thing at the top. We've got this nice little curve up here. We can add our dark value there. You always start with your dark value. And then bring down into your medium value, which is a lighter pressure. I like to use a circular motion as I go into my medium value. And then light value, let it fade. So this side too, dark value. I'm working inside the heart and let it fade as I come down. Okay. Now, how about we do, let's go ahead and put, let's see that on. This one right here is white, so we're going to go ahead and dot that later with white. Let's go ahead and put some shading on our white petals. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. And this one we did the outside ones. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Let's do the inside. Why not? So a little darker value on the center of each petal, bring it out, let it fade. About halfway, let it fade. And it's just a feather touch when you get to that fading area. You want it to just blend right into the white background, which is a little tricky because we are working with a very different value. you're kind of jumping your values there. We've got this really dark pencil and we're working over a very light background. So just a feather touch when you fade that off. Okay. I'm going to shade these hearts in here. Let's shade the tips of these hearts too. Darker value right at the tip. Let it fade. Okay. Another thing you can do is use an eraser to help you. Sometimes you can go in a little too dark or, and we had, like I said, a big jump in value here. I'm going to lighten up my shading a little bit with my eraser because I feel like it was a little too aggressive. I just want a hint of shading there. Okay. All right. One thing I'd like to do is have this red border stand out. So I want to be shading right in between each scallop. A little bit of shading in between each scallop. So work yourself around. Shading in between each scallop. That's your darkest value right in between. And then just let it fade pretty quickly. Okay. So that helps differentiate between the red and the light pink there. And I think I'm just gonna leave it. I like the light pink on the background. I just like how it turned out nicely. So I'm just gonna leave that. We'll just go in with our dot work and we're gonna be using the titanium white for our dots. So we'll do that next. And then once that's dry, we can cut these out. Okay, get yourself a nice fresh petal of titanium white. And you'll want a stylus to add your dots, something, let's see, along the lines of this or a little larger. And I want to water this down. You can use flow medium if you happen to have flow medium. What it does, flow medium is great because it like will water down or not, I shouldn't say water down. It will change it to so the flow is much better. It's not so thick and it doesn't change the strength of your color or the strength of the pigment. Okay, so flow medium is really great that way. If you happen to have that, if not, just use water. Okay, let's go ahead with this one and add our dots. We always want to do the dots in the middle of the design so that we can work around the design afterward and not disturb those dots. So first thing we're going to want to do is just like look inside the design. Is there any dot work we want to do there? And I see just a few places. One is in the middle of these little cinnamon roll flowers. or little circle flowers, the ones that are pink. And that's really it. Well, I guess we will let's go ahead and put white dots on the middle of these hearts. I think they do need white dots. And I'm just using my stylus to dip and dot. Dip and dot. Okay. I'm good with it. Now I'll work on the outside. I want a little white dot on my scallops around my heart. Just work around. Really try not to disturb what you've already done. So I'm going to be careful about moving around your piece so you don't smear what you've done. Dip and dot. If you dip and dot, you generally will get the same size dots. If you dip and dot, 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 you will get cascading dots. Okay. Now you could add glitter to this Valentine, or you can add little jewels to it. I think I will add jewels to mine. But it would be really cute actually to put glitter on some of the white areas. Wouldn't that be cute if you're a glitter person? Okay, that's good for my dots on that piece. Let's move that aside and do this one now. Let's put some dots on the center of our hearts. Okay. I did kind of go over my base of um, my flower there, so I'm going to put some white there. Mhm. We have little white berries, and they're at the ends of these branches. If you're wondering what those were for, they end kind of abruptly, but they're for a little white berry to finish it off. Okay. All right. Now you can I'm actually going to put some dots in the background around this. You can do whatever you want. I think I'm going to just do kind of a polka dot look to the background. And these are just random dots. Some of them are smaller than the others. Just a polka dot background. Okay. Fun. That's fun. I might even carry it into the other part of it. I think I will. So I think I'll just go ahead and put dots that are kind of close together around this outer edge. Isn't this fun? This is where it starts to come together. Love, love, love this part. Now I had kind of traced around and it, my tape and it made it a bigger line, but I'm going to stick with the smaller line on the inside. So I'm going to kind of bring my dots in. Let's bring those dots around. Okay, if you water down your paint or thin it a little bit with flow medium, then your dots will not have chocolate chip ends to them. They won't be pointy. So it's really important that you do thin your paint when you're making dots. Okay, I'm trying to be patient as I go around. I'm almost to the end here. So have fun. You guys could use different colors. You could add gold to your design. Wouldn't that be pretty? Just have fun with it. Um, we're going to see where we're at with drying. Looks like this needs to dry a little bit more before we cut it out. And then if you want to make a little ornament out of it, you can, or a tag, to put on a gift or something. You can use baker's twine. Do you have some of that red and white baker's twine? That would look so nice as a little tie for your gift tag. Okay, I don't want to do anything until those dots are nice and dry. We'll cut them out and then we'll put our rhinestones on. I don't know, I might even put some glitter on mine just to add a little to it. So let's get my heat gun out. Okay. Get this drying here. You can see how super fun these are. They work up really quickly. Doesn't take much. We can get these done in a nice little afternoon. Okay. Right, that's nice and dry. Okay, I'm going to try my different scissors. I hope these work. Let's see. Oh yeah, they're going to work. Okay, so I want to show you. This is a little more complicated. You don't have to do the scallops if you don't want to do those curvy lines. You could just kind of do a straight line around it. But if you do the curvy lines, just make sure and use a nice, sharp, small pair of scissors that can get around your scallops. And I'm just going to do a little bit at a time till I get it done. Making a mess. But you can see how fun that is when you get that cut out. It's just hard to use big scissors when you're working out around the scallops like that, right? So okay, keep going here. So mine's not like super perfect. I can still see some white on the edges, but remember we're doing handcrafting. This is handcrafted, so it's okay not to be perfect. I give you permission. Just have fun with it. It's all about the experience. And, your loved one who receives this Valentine from you will be so happy that you thought of them and that you took time to make something for them. I have paper flying everywhere here. Okay, a little bit left to go. Now, do you have a small hole punch? Like if you do scrapbooking or something, have a small hole punch, you could do that hole punch there. Um, there is a little bit of a curve in my piece. Now that can be you can remedy that by just putting it under heavy books overnight. That helps a lot. Just go like that with some heavy books. You can decorate the back, you could paint the back, and that will also help just maybe a little bit of moisture on the back, you know? So, looks like I got one little area I need to redot, and I'll go and head off and do my other one. So any dots I need to fix. I think they look good. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside and we'll work on this guy. That is nice and dry. All right, just follow your lines. And this one I was gonna go in a little bit more. If you have any graphite that's still showing through, you can try and erase it with an eraser. Since you haven't put any sealer down, it's not too late to erase some of those graphite lines if you need to. They will erase through the paint, actually, with the transparent washes. They do. Okay. I'm going to fix this edge here. Okay. Nice. I love it. And I do have a little bit of graphite right up here I want to get off. So okay. Yes, they are not complete without a little sparkle. We do need sparkle. I might try the glitter. I know my fingers are like, I need glitter. So I do have some glitter. I happen to have some right here. I'm going to use my opaline. And the way I put glitter on is I use the Josanya all-purpose sealer as my glue. I love to do it that way. So Josanya does have a glitter medium, which is good too. For these, I want more concentrated glitter, so that's why we're going this way. Okay, so a little bit of all-purpose sealer on my palette. Now I'm not really sure how it's gonna go over my lines, my pin lines, so I want to be careful about that. I'm gonna just take a little glitter or little glue here, or all-purpose sealer is what it is. All-purpose sealer. And I'm going to put glitter on my white areas. So these little scallops here. And I think it'll go okay over my pin lines. That's what I was a little concerned about. I was like, will it go over the pin lines okay? But I think it will. The pigment pins are great. So little glitter around the scalloped edge. I'm just doing the white scallops, and you can see how I'm kind of putting on my medium pretty thickly. So, because it is my glue. It will dry clear and it will dry flat. So, okay, is there any other place I want it? I think I'm going to put it on the white leaves. Just the white leaves. Okay. And this thing right here. All righty, here we go. We had a game the other day, and I'm just using my glitter shakers. These are on our website too, you guys. Glitter shaker. And I'm going to shake this over here and get rid of the glitter. Okay. Oh, that's looking fun. We were having doing a game the other day about things about ourselves. And my husband, it was like 2 truths and a lie. 2 truths and a lie. And my husband played the game, and one of his things that he said was he loved glitter. We were all like, right. He hates glitter. But he's married to the glitter queen. So I don't know. He has to get used to it. So you put the glitter wherever you want. I'm putting it on some of my white areas, like my white leaves. I don't know, guys. This glitter is pretty cool. I didn't put it in the list of things to have. So it's just kind of an extra thing we thought of. I'm going to do it around this edge too. I'm like really getting into this. Yep, yep, yep. Okay. Oops, I forgot one right there. I'm forgetting more. There's more down here. Okay. All right. More glitter. This is like magic to me. Magic, 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 magic. Glitter, 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 glitter. My husband hates you, but I don't. Okay. Okay. Oh, that looks divine. They look edible, don't they? I think so. Aren't those fun? Oh my gosh. So fun. Well, you guys, these make up for a cute and fun little thing you could do. They come up, they paint up quick and are so fun. And we do have the line drawings and everything on the website at erikajoanne.com, ErikaJoanne, if you want to get those for $4. And yeah, so fun. I could still add more rhinestones and stuff. I probably should. I was going to say goodbye, but maybe I should. I'll go ahead and put those on too. I use that same glue that I used before to glue this together. You can use what you have. Just put a little glue on your palette. I have a jar of rhinestones. This was my mom's jar. She has passed, and so this is kind of my little thing to remind me of my mom. She was very special. Oops, that's not a rhinestone. Let's put out a few rhinestones and see what we have. Okay, that's a good selection. And I have a rhinestone picker. And whenever I want it, it's not there. I don't know why. That always happens to me. Oh, goodness. Okay. Gotta look harder here. Well, good griefins. It's not there. So I will just use my fingers, I guess. Go ahead and put the glue down where you want your rhinestone. I'm going to put one right in the middle, one right in the middle here. There's always so many choices. You could put one in the middle of your thing. I'm just think I'll put maybe one more. Maybe one more. How about right here? Okay. So then you look to your rhinestones. What do I have? What do I have? I want kind of a larger one for the middle there. So I'm going to use this one. Just set it with my finger. So much easier with a jewel picker. So much easier, and I don't know where mine is. So, okay, so you can do that. And then I have those other places. So maybe not as big. Let's see, one right there. I have one right there too. So that could be one right there. And where was the other one? Oh, right there. Right there. So okay, I got my rhinestones placed. I think they are good. I keep pulling this up and I know it's just going to make it blurry. But anyway, you guys get the picture. You can put your rhinestones on. You'll want to poke a hole in there. You can use, like a nice hole punch. The scrapworkers have like small hole punchers that you can do that hole punch and then string it with the baker's twine. Let's do this one. Okay, I want one right here, one right there. I think that's good for that one. I mean, you could go crazy. You could do them everywhere on your piece, but I think I'll stop there. Let's see. I want kind of like a medium size right here, and about the same size for there too. You could do red rhinestones. They make them in all different colors, Okay. All right. That was so fun, you guys. I even got to play with my glitter. I hope you enjoyed it too. Have fun making these and enjoy just putting some baker's twine on it to finish it off, and write a nice little message on the back to your loved one. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me see. I'm just going to check the comments really quick and see if I have any comments. Oh. Okay. Checking it out. Okay, we do. I know, Cindy, it does. It really packs a punch. We do need to pick a winner before we get off. So I'm going to do that really quick. Just randomly scroll through everyone. Robin Richer from Georgia. You are our winner today. I'm going to write your name down. So the way we work it with winners is you go to our e-pattern page, choose your favorite e-pattern, send me an email, and I will send that e-pattern back to you. So send the email to ask, ASK, at Erika Joanne ErikaJoanne.com, and let us know your favorite e-pattern, and we will send it right back to you. So it's on you to claim your prize, Robin. Congratulations. Thanks for being here, you guys. That was so fun. I really enjoyed it. I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun. So thank you for being here, and we will see you next time. I'll be on next Tuesday to do another dog project from our dog book, and we'll go from there. Toodaloo.